Yeah.
I had to finish Tariq shit.
Bro,
Tariq shit ended like 8 months ago.
That's what I'm saying. I just signed back up. I had watched all the episodes, but hadn't seen the last like 6. I was
the end of the Tariq was
but
garbage.
I do have a deal. It was 3. Yeah, so that shit was crazy.
And you paid for that.
So if you had
it was $4.99 though. It was $4.99 for 3 months. They did give me a deal. They sent me an email with that. That shit was like comic book. That shit was
check this out.
It was go ahead, Sheldon.
No, I was gonna say if y'all had to pay for 3 of them, which three streaming services are a must for y'all?
Max, Apple TV, and you can it depends on the month with Hulu.
It's Hulu, Netflix, Max.
No,
those are must have.
Apple TV got the best shows.
It got some good
Apple
shows.
TV got hits.
Yeah, but it doesn't have
Silo,
it doesn't have a catalog though. It don't have no.
It do got a catalog.
Yeah, Nick is right though. It don't have.
You're talking about old school catalog.
I'm just talking about catalog in general. Like you could watch damn near anything you kind of want to watch, because like you were just looking at the hits that you tune into. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking at like I'm just watching Apple TV stuff and all that, and hell no.
Bro, you can always find some more Apple TV. Ken agree with me. Like Apple TV got hits, bro.
Yeah.
All Mankind, Foundation. Like it's a lot of shit on Apple TV.
They do lack in the catalog. I do agree with that, but yeah.
And you talking about sci-fi? So Apple TV is mostly known for sci-fi than anything else. It ain't known for any like real shit except for like Shrinking.
Do y'all have Prime?
Shrinking, I forgot about Prime
by default.
Prime.
I think that shit was free with like Amazon.
No one considers Prime because of the because of the deal that you get for the packages and all that.
Prime got some dope stuff on it too, though. Prime got some.
It does have some. It does got some nice stuff.
Yeah,
I never know about. I never know about Prime shows. Like like somebody always got to tell me, oh, it's on Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, Shelton, it would be Netflix, Max, and Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus is a stretch. Well, that's the thing. Like Disney Plus is basically. I don't know why they don't. They need to just. They basically won't do it, but they just need to form in Disney Plus with Hulu and ESPN.
That's what they're doing now.
Just make it one thing. But they have it on separate platforms still, to where like even if you have Disney
now
Plus,
they combine them. You can't even log into. You got to log in through Disney now.
You can watch Disney on Hulu though, can't you?
Yeah.
Yes, they are combining. They just added ESPN Plus to Disney Plus to where you can watch them on there. So they're merging all 3 into one. I think at some point they have to get rid of the individual apps you're talking about, Nick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, those two. But yeah, they're blending them together now.
I thought about it, man, because I was paying like something stupid. Remember, I was paying like $300 something for cable a month. And then when you get rid of that,
was that with internet?
Well, no, that was without internet.
Really?
Man, I had it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So I got rid of it. But now with all the streaming services, you paying the same thing when you look.
You ain't paying $300, nigga. I can tell you that.
With all of them,
you ain't paying $300 for cable.
With all of them,
yes, I was,
not. That's not.
That sounds
crazy.
No,
yeah, my in-law was paying close to $400.
Yeah,
with no internet.
No internet. I had my
internet may have been included.
My internet was through Xfinity, and my thing was DirecTV, but it was $300 and something a month. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
And
but I had like the NBA package and the NFL package. Yeah,
Nick, and I think if you have the Disney Plus bundle, you'll be able to see all 3 in the Disney Plus app. I think that's what Public Enemy just said. So if you don't have one of the other 2, then you won't.
I have the bundle. I have because I got Hulu with live TV. Just because I'm old school, so I still gotta have live TV.
Flip through the channels. I'm the same way. I need to.
But it's also because of sports. Don't shake your head at me, kid. It's because of the sports. It's live sports.
I just gotta see what's on. Like I just still like I got Xfinity streaming app just so I can see what's on TV.
Man, all you need is the NBA shit and the NFL network for sports and ESPN. If you have those 3, everything is covered.
But then what about when college basketball season hit?
Get with
and all that. March Madness
in March around this time of year.
Yeah, get with Kyle offline. Kyle hook you up. Now it may be delayed, but you can still watch it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the live stuff is still there.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, Hey, look, a lot of that stuff you guys can watch online on replays and stuff like that. But if you
Mm-hmm.
want to watch it live, then I understand. But let's get into the show for this week. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. Inch. Joining me on the show, we have FIFO, Shelton, Spike, and Nick. What up?
What's happening? What's happening?
Nothing much. While we were just talking about television shows, so on the Amazon Fire TV, whatever it was, G.I. Joe popped up. Like they got all 5 or 6 seasons, but it's on some streaming service called Happy Kids, which feels very weird to me. So I don't like you just download that. It's a terrible title, bro. For a grown man to be downloading something called Happy Kids. They really got 2 boys.
Half of their subscription services are perverts. That's what they try to see something else. Boy.
Oh man, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, man, we were just talking about doing a pre-show. You guys listen to the audio. Thank you. You guys probably won't hear that. But yeah, man, we're here to it's more of a reduced show, an abbreviated show tonight, because of course everything is kind of on pause right now. We just had the All-Star weekend, so we're definitely going to react to that. And then we're going to open up the call-in. We're going to open up the lines for members to chime in and come holler at us. We'll probably be here for about 45 minutes to an hour. So, yeah, look for the link. It will be in the community post on YouTube for members. So if you're a member on there, you'll see it. And I'll go ahead and get that posted while we discuss the All-Star Weekend. The 2025 NBA All-Star Weekend concluded on Sunday night in San Francisco with a new format for the exhibition game instead of the traditional one, aimed at bringing more competition back to the headline event. What were you guys' thoughts on Sunday's matchup and overall impressions of the festivities that took place this weekend?
Well, I have to say I hate that this is where we are right now, especially with the All-Star game. I will say that it made it more competitive, but the whole 4 teams and it feels like a bit much. It feels like it's a little over the top, but if I was in Adam Silver's shoes, I get it. You know what I'm saying? He has to deal with what the players don't want to do, which is play hard in an All-Star game. And it doesn't mean play playoff intensity hard, but it means like take the game a little bit more seriously than what it has been. You know what I'm saying? So from that perspective, I got to give Adam Silver a lot of credit. But from the player's perspective, it sucks. I saw Kevin Love tweet, and I don't know if it was really Kevin Love or if it was like a parody account saying, letting Matt McClung win 3 slam dunk contests in a row in Black History Month, come holler at me or some shit like that. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing. But I thought that's crazy. But Matt McClung, we knew the white boy had hops ever since high school. You go watch his high school mixtape is one of the best ones out there. 3-point contest is the 3-point contest. It's always going to be a good event. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't mess that up. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was fine. I think Chris Paul doing what he did is a microcosm of his entire career.
They said Wemby. They said that was Wemby idea.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Chris Paul
broadcast.
What did he do?
Chris Paul should have known better. Chris Paul is the fucking head of the whole NBA Players Association. So
they cheated
that lines up. That lines up for what Chris Paul, what we know about him. He's a competitor.
Exactly. I said, it's a microcosm of his career. So essentially, in the skills challenge, you go and you it's a bounce pass and a chest pass, and then you have to make a jump shot, and then you get the ball, you make a couple of passes, and then you got to make a layup at the end. Or no, now they have like a corner 3 or something like that. They were just throwing the balls. You know what I'm saying? Like they wasn't really shooting them. They were just getting them off the rack and just letting them go.
Because you got like 3, you got to take 3 shots or something like that. And then
so what happened, Nick? Before they did the competition, Wemby was asking the officials, do you have to attempt a shot or do you just have to take the ball off the rack? So they told him, you don't have to attempt the shot. You just got to take the ball off the rack. So instead of them taking the ball off the rack and shooting a shot, they just took the ball off the rack and threw it in the crowd. Or like threw it to the side. That way they move through it fast and not try to make a shot.
Because obviously the
I thought you had to make a shot. Yeah.
No, you don't have to. You just got to.
You just got to attempt 3 attempts, I think, or something like that. Because they shot it 3 times. Well, they threw it 3 times.
If you make it, then you go to the next station. But if you miss it, you have to shoot as many balls as there. You know what I'm saying? So for them, instead of trying to make the shot, they just took it off the rack.
The shit was
just helped them move fast.
It was stupid as hell.
It was.
Again, that's why I say it was a microcosm of Chris Paul's career, because he bro, like that type of mentality, you're not gonna win nothing.
He was over there arguing with them and everything about it. So I don't know what the rules are, but yeah,
it looked
that
bad.
Was
but
it looked bad, but I ain't mad at them though. They was trying to win. I ain't mad at them,
man. Where's the integrity?
Hey man, if you ain't cheating,
and that's the issue.
Trying. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, man.
Well, the Patriots know all about that.
Right,
but
it's not football, man. It's basketball, man. Different sports, Spike.
Okay, Spike. So I understand what you're saying. They were trying to find a loophole in the rules, but
don't get mad at me because I figured it out.
He didn't figure it out. That was the problem. That's what made it stupid, because the shit didn't work.
They didn't win.
They got qualified.
I digress. That was stupid.
Because
he was asking before the game, though. I do credit him. He was asking before the game, like, do I have to shoot the ball or can I just throw the ball away? And he never got a clear answer. At least this is what Jalen Rose was saying. Jalen Rose was saying he never got a clear answer, so he just was like, fuck it. But Wemby was the one pushing for that, though.
But we know the rules. Why are you trying to bend them? Make the shot on the first go.
He don't know no better. FIFA,
he can shoot. Yeah.
Get out of here. The man talk English. He speak English. Come on now.
Barely.
I was gonna say I didn't pay much attention to the skill challenge. I just watched the 3-point. I was watching casually throughout the weekend, mostly just like seeing like, why haven't I tuned in? Because I remember like back in the day, FIFA, we used to tune in. Like you used to like
was the biggest, one of the biggest events.
Because it would always sometimes happen on Valentine's weekend. So you would have to, niggas would get creative and try to plan, events around around the TV. You know what I'm saying? But now it's just like, bro, you could give a fuck about the All-Star. And I was watching it at the crib and I was just like, I could see why. Because to me, the only somewhat legit way to fix it, and I think they will never do it because it goes against the whole star-studded weekend thing, is that you let the voting happen. So you let all the people get their votes in and all that stuff, to select the players. But you just only let the young people, the young boys play. Freshmen, rookies and sophomores. Because to me, they're the only ones that truly benefit from this now at this point. Because they don't have a name for themselves, so they don't have the leverage to say like, hold on.
You talking about? No, I got a question real quick. Okay. You talk about the All-Star game or the festivities or both?
Just the All-Star game. Just the All-Star game, not the festivities. Just the All-Star game. Just because the vets don't care. They clearly do not care, and that's fine. Whatever, because you can't force. I'm saying it's fine because you can't force. You can't force them. But only let the
NBA. That's why viewership is now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Though. But like you said, we talked about earlier, Lou. March Madness college basketball hasn't been as what it used to be, of course, either. But that's the people talk about like I love college basketball more than NBA all the time. It's because there's intensity, there's care, there's obviously allegiance with
women's basketball is more intense now than the NBA.
And there was talks of the women going against the men. I don't know. I'll probably be interested only for that one day, but I'm not even talking about that. All I'm saying is that the rookies, the rookies and sophomores are the only ones that need to play All-Star weekend. Have the best, the team with the best record in the East and the West at the time. Have their best players select their teams from their conference, like the players from their conference, and let the rookies play because they want to show that their skills.
I like the idea of U.S. versus the world. So you do it that way since you got enough All-Stars now to be international.
Enough world players.
No, now it is world players.
Now it is.
To fill out a 12-man roster, it's 12 good world players.
Yes, bro.
Yes. Now it is.
Like you wilding. Look, this is what me and Q was talking about last.
But you can't vote on that too, though, right? Like you can't. There's no way that you were able to vote on that in the sense of if we voting for the what is it, 24 best players, 12 man the team,
Yeah,
like
you
you're
can
not
do
gonna
it.
get 12 world players.
Yes,
like,
you
from
are.
popular vote. Nah, y'all.
No,
Wow.
Not been popular vote, no.
you would just separate it. You would say
That's
this
part
is
of it, though.
USA.
The fan vote is part of it. The
No,
fans not gonna
I
go
understand
vote for
that. No, Spike. You're making it more difficult than what it is. This is the pool of players for the USA you could vote for. This is the pool of player of European players or the world you could vote for, and just leave it there and let the people vote.
And they would compete for that.
But
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Look, the thing about the NBA All-Star game is that we have a lot of entitlement. And that is the main issue that we are dealing with basketball players now, right? Because they are entitled not from high school anymore. They're entitled from middle school. And now we're talking NIL. Some of these middle schoolers are making more money than all 6 of us put together. You know what I'm saying? So there are kids out there making crazy buku money. The entitlement is real. So you got to meet fire with fire. Like me and Q was saying, you got to up the ante on the wins in terms of the money. That's what they're playing for, bro. Yeah. Look, Nick, you going to tell me the winning team gets $3 million a player? They're going to play, bro.
I have a
They're
question.
going to play.
I have a question, and then we'll get your thoughts on All-Star Weekend festivities, Q. But isn't this a problem across all the leagues?
But their All-Star,
just any type of All-Star, Pro Bowl.
Hockey. That's a good question, Ken.
Not
I would say not hockey, not baseball, and football. You can't care. Basketball shouldn't have this problem.
Why not? Why should they have to care more than any other sport?
In previous generations, because it's basketball. Like, you don't have to worry about it.
That's not an answer.
He said it.
I'm gonna elaborate, but you don't have to go out there and not try hard in order to avoid getting hurt. With football, you have that. Even with hockey, you have that. They just care more. But when you have basketball, the AAU generation that we're looking at, when we watched the All-Star games that we liked, people cared about being the best player. So you would have in the fourth quarter, the third quarter, defense starting to step up. It meant something to be the All-Star MVP because that meant the 24 best basketball players in the world are on the court and you were the best person that night. Now, in this generation, you look at someone like a Jason Tatum or a Ja Morant, or even Anthony Edwards, we all like his spirit and think he's competitive, but none of them care about being the best player. When Jordan was there, when Kobe was there, even in LeBron's early day, they cared about getting that All-Star game MVP and knowing on this night where everybody in the world was here, I was the best player. No one in this generation cares about that.
Can I say the same thing happens with the Pro Bowl? Nobody watches that shit. Nobody give a fuck about that.
That's a little different, though.
The All-Star game in MLB, they have to change the rules. Nobody really cared about that either.
Nah, the baseball they still play with a competitive fervor. Hockey, they still play with a competitive fervor. Football is different. Football is different because, like, you could really get hurt and, you know, really mess up your season, mess up your career. So I get it from a football perspective. It's an albatross of what's happening over there with the flag football. That was crazy.
But there were very similar complaints about the Pro Bowl too.
It was, but like, and I'm only gonna say this because I remember this happening, and he never was the same. But I remember the season for fantasy football people, Tyler Eifert had like 10 to 15 touchdowns one season. He was a tight end for the Bengals. He played and he was good that year, so he went to the Pro Bowl. He played in the Pro Bowl and he got hurt. Never was the same after that. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was at that time, we're like, why the fuck is he playing this? Like, why are we even dealing with this Pro Bowl shit? We just lost one of our best players. And I think that's something that happens that people keep in their back in their mind. Like, you could mess up your whole money moving forward and all that shit by just getting hurt in a game that legit don't matter. But Q, I wanted to ask you this, and I want to get your thoughts on this based off.
And it's
this question.
after the season too. One thing I just wanted to address with Ken, it's after the season. That's the only one that's after the season. They already done packed it up. They already know what their fates are. NBA's being in the middle of the season, it should matter more. They just don't care. And again, that's the reason why ratings are down.
I think y'all have a different set of standards, but go ahead, Q, or whatever Nick was going to ask him.
Is this LeBron's fault?
That's funny. No, it's not LeBron's fault, bro. I think, man, All-Star Game's been trash for decades. I don't know why this is like a really big conversation now. It's been really bad, dude. Like, I think we all have a little bit of nostalgia with like the whole, I think it was 2001 when Kobe, J-Kidd, T-Mac. That to me is an outlier. If you watch any other All-Star Game, granted, before probably 2000, I don't have much of a memory. And I'm sure that there were some games back then, back when guys were getting paid peanuts because, bragging rights and, what I'm saying, who was the best. That means something when you ain't got, a fucking house. Like, that means a lot when you don't have a mansion. It means a lot when you don't have a bunch of cars in the driveway and you don't got as many girls as you want because you can, put that shit on and go to the club. Like, these are the new generation of guys we're talking about. Guys are signing Twitch deals, Rumble deals. Guys are getting steak deals, all kind of stuff outside of the court. So, of course, that ties into the fact that we're not going to care as much. But the All-Star Game, the revisionism is really, really funny to me because I don't ever remember being, like, super glued to the All-Star Game ever, besides that one 2001. That's the outlier. It's a great final 4 minutes. I guess you could say the Kobe one where Jordan was on his swan song in D.C. That was pretty cool, too. But guys were still throwing dunks off the backboard. Shaq was still, trying to shoot a free throw, brick it, and dunk it from the free throw line. It was never really what people
I'll
think
say
it
something
is.
real quick, FIFO.
And I think people are doing really some rose-colored glasses with that shit, man.
I think that's just because you're a little bit younger, Q. I remember. I'm not being funny, Nick. I ain't being funny. I'm just saying.
He was. I know he was waiting to say that. Like, nigga,
I was though, because Ken and Shelton can vouch. Like the All-Star games.
He call y'all old, by the way.
Yeah, they old. Just like me, I'm old.
Yeah,
but the All-Star games in the '90s, when you had the blue and the red, East and West jerseys,
Yeah.
they cared. They was playing.
For
It
sure.
wasn't
But,
like we ain't out here bullshit. Like they
and
played.
that's my point, though.
Yeah, they said the older ones.
But that's my point, though.
2020 was good, though. Remember 2020?
It was cool, like, bro. Like, them niggas is broke, like, bro. You talking about no. Let's keep it a band, like, bro. You're talking to me about the Commodores and like the Temptations, like, of course, the level of musicianship back in Motown is gonna be greater because them niggas that was trying to eat. They was trying to eat, bro. Versus nowadays, these artists are uploading the track. It's the same analogy. Where you have all the technology in front of you, you have everything that you need at your disposal. The money is freely flowing in this economy. And the highest earners of today would, and back in the day, be making like, only one or two guys be getting that. Jordan and maybe Alonzo Mourning, maybe Shaq when he got to LA. So of course you're not going to get the same level of competition. It was more than I don't know many guys that are getting Jordan Poole money right now, bro.
The big ticket, guess the reason why KG earned that nickname, bro. It wasn't because of basketball. It was because of the bank. But it was early 2000s. It was the early 2000s.
Bro, I'm talking about the 90s, fam. We talking about the 90s. That's what Spike just brought up.
No, niggas was getting money in the 90s. Too, don't do that. Like
niggas were not getting Jordan Poole money in the 90s. No. That's what I'm talking about. That's my point. Don't move my point.
But it has to be relative because of inflation. So that's number one.
Well, I'm talking about the talent, FIFO. You're talking to me about all-stars and like GOATs, and I'm talking about Jordan Poole. Like, that's what I'm saying.
You're talking
about Kevin Garnett. I'm talking about Jordan Poole.
You're talking about money, and I'm telling you that it's relative. First of all, inflation. So people back then, obviously, it looks like peanuts compared to what they're making now. But for back then, it was good and big money for them. The other thing is this. I think the biggest thing that you're talking, when you hear Q talk, what he's talking about is exposure. Nice. And what I mean by that is that the All-Star game and all of those opportunities, right, were an opportunity for that player to show the world why I am who I am. Today, it's more than just basketball, and I can control how much access you have to me through my Twitter post, through my Instagram post, through my Twitch, through my all of these through podcasts. Right? You get like think about Draymond Green. Back in the day, he would be a championship role player, right? I can akin him to Robert Horry. Robert Horry, he won championships. Charles Oakley didn't win nothing.
That's fair.
Robert Horry, right? Like a guy that is a pivotal piece, but is he the guy? No. We didn't know nothing about no Robert Horry. The reason why we know Robert Horry because he won championships. So every time in those big moments he stepped up, what we call him, Big Shot Rob. He earned that. now you got dudes like Paul George giving himself his own nickname. That's the difference.
To People's point, real quick, Nick. Let me.
You always say that, Lou. You don't never.
He do that every
time. I just want to give mine in and get out real quick. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. All I was about to say, to FIFO's point, players have way more ways to make you notice them. Podcasts, all of my Instagram, my Twitch. In the 90s, to what I'm talking about, Q. The place where you got your name was the All-Star game because all the best players are here. I got to go out here and ball. And if I get All-Star MVP, that means, like you said, they're making peanuts. So that does mean endorsement deals. That does mean all of these other things. That's why they competed harder. If Jason Tatum wants you to think that he's the best in the world, I can just go do an IG or a Snapchat or whatever it may be, and I'm cool. I don't really want to be here. I don't want to play in these games.
Even more so than that, to me, in the 90s, they just were more competitive. I mean, that's just in general. That's a different conversation. What I mean by that is when they go at each other, like that's what I mean by competitive, Nick. Not that it was the difference. It's just we're not friends. We're competing.
Because that's a product, Nick. That's a product of the environment, and that's a product of the non-social media world. We're gonna like history books are gonna account for the fact of before social media and after social media. Human beings, in my opinion, were never meant to see this many people. You weren't meant to see this many baddies in front of you on the flick of a. You weren't made to be able to see. Oh, this guy in Oakland, California is really nice at basketball, and I'm going to become his friend, and we're going to lock in the offseason and work on our game. I don't think human beings really meant to see this many people. But back to the numbers game is what I'm saying is, like, if you want to account for the inflation, I had to get the numbers right. So the average NBA salary back in 1999 was $4 million. I'm sorry, $2.8 million. In 2025, $2 million is $3,851,000. You know what I'm saying? The average NBA salary now is $11 million. So I'm saying like that $8 million gap, that's the difference between being able to have a house and some more shit on top of taking care of some other people in your immediate family. That's what I'm saying is it's different, bro. When you have scrubs, like we all will understand, like Kyle Kuzma is getting more money than guys like name the highest caliber of role players that were winning championships, the Robert Horrys and whatnot.
Like Tom Comcat was the highest paid basketball player for a minute, bro. Tom Comcat. I feel that, but we're talking about a different set of money, though, bro. We're talking about a different CBA, and I think that that's impacting the All-Star game because you have, like I said, the environment is impacting people's psychology. Like we're too friendly, and that's all it is.
We dancing around what it is. And I asked you earlier, there's two things. One, again, the leverage is these veterans, these OGs, whatever you want to call them in the game right now, they got too much fucking leverage. So take away their spotlight. Give it to the young boys, the rookies and the sophomores, because like FIFO's point, they need to show the world what they can do.
Needle though, Nick.
No,
but Nick, they don't really want.
Hold on. This is my main point. It's LeBron James. We keep on dancing around for it's the LeBron James era is the start of all this shit going down.
It is.
LeBron James era was 03.
Exactly, like you said, 2 years after the year that you talk about. A lot of people talk about 2001. Q. They talk about that All-Star game being the last good one. My thing, that's the last year of the Jordan era, going into the LeBron era. My thing is this with LeBron, like he didn't even fucking show up. He wasn't there.
Hey, that's
insane. That's fucking insane. That's like
on the day of. You didn't even give nobody else the opportunity to play.
His first time in how many years? Has he ever done this before?
All I'm saying is just
never done this before.
Like my overall thoughts on the All-Star week, we can very succinctly. I think that they have to completely reorganize it. I think that they have to do kind of what the MLB did prior to 2017. They have to make this impact the seeding. That's the only way people are going to care. The money is cool, and I think that the money it has to be a part of the equation as well, like they do with the home run derby and all that stuff. But you got to make this shit impact the season. Either either we're gonna have the All-Star game be understood by the audience as being just a place for shits and giggles, or are you gonna make this a part of the fabric of the season that you got to take this shit semi-serious? Of course,
I don't think
the dunk contest and all that stuff. That's like cool. We're having fun there. But if we're talking about the All-Star game, the way that they gave home field advantage to the winner of the conference in the All-Star games in MLB prior to 2017, and the only reason why that's not happening anymore is because of the CBA. The players didn't want it. But it's like you got to float things like that. Like I said, seeding impacts for the highest, scoring play. I don't know. Something has to matter for the season, because what I see is, from an audience standpoint, you're telling the audience who watches the NBA that none of this shit really matter until June anyway.
Well,
and I don't
stay right there, because we actually have about 3 more topics we need to get to, and we already have an hour into the show. For anybody, I did post a link. If anybody wanted to call in and chat with us, it is in the YouTube community section. But you're talking about the game and making it matter. Draymond Green, I believe, said the game was boring, and Oscar Robertson had some comments to say about what he said, and he said that who cares what Draymond Green think. So Draymond said that every possession is some type of chess move. You don't get that in the NBA. Today in the NBA, often you don't just get that on a regular basis. It's just who can run faster, who can hit more threes. There's no substance. I think it's very boring. And then Oscar Robertson said, Draymond says so much. Who cares what Draymond says? The game is what it is. People either like the game or they don't. And I think people enjoy the game, especially if their team win. And he says he just passing the Curry all the time. So maybe that's why he's bored.
Shout out to Oscar Robertson, boy. Cincinnati legend. My thing is this. I'm going to hit the point again. LeBron James ruined the dunk contest. LeBron James ruined the All-Star. Like the things that we're talking about are the catalyst of what LeBron. Like the reason why the reason why you said in that, Shelton, and you talking about the 90s and all the people talking about, is because when Jordan cared as the best player in the world, everybody cared. When Kobe cared as one of the best players, if not the best player in the world, everybody cared. When LeBron was like, nah, I'm cool on this. That's what the trickle is. This is the first time it's trickle down in economics with this.
Because Jordan got more money. Jordan got more money off the court than he did on the court. That's why I keep telling y'all, man. Y'all, that's like it has nothing to do with. It's not mentality.
I think Wu Young in the chat got a good point. Maybe they should do it at the beginning of the season. If they did it,
I don't know about that.
I think it may be better. I think that'll be
dope. Here's the thing about MJ, LeBron, all of this type of stuff. Nick, I don't disagree that the line of demarcation is the Lebron era, right?
Is this going to tie into Oscar Robertson at all and what he said? Because y'all off topic.
No.
I think this does tie in with the generation gap.
Yes, okay. I'm gonna bring it all in. The line of demarcation starts with LeBron James because that is the era of the overexposure. The overexposure where I can control how famous I am. Jordan didn't have that. Jordan was extremely selfish. It's not that he cared about the NBA. He didn't care about the product of the NBA. He cared about getting his and a personal vendetta of proving how great he is compared to everybody else. We don't have that at the same level today with the top athletes in the NBA. And also, stylistically, basketball is different now, which is the reason why the ratings are down. That's the reason why. So it is a generational thing because the game has evolved. But the issue is the fact that everybody plays the same. Everybody got a different superpower. All of these great players have a great superpower. Why the hell is everybody trying to be Steph Curry? Imagine if John Morant was shooting 12, 13 threes a game. He doesn't. He's one of the few superstars that uses his superpower that he has that's individual to himself. But imagine if the majority of these players play one way. And that's where I agree with Draymond. But I also love the pushback that Oscar Robertson gave because the solution is somewhere in the middle. The solution is somewhere in the middle. And the thing is, Ken, I think the biggest issue overall is that we have too many analytical guys making decisions, making big time basketball decisions, and that's where the issue primarily lies.
And the crazy thing about Draymond saying is like, nigga, this is y'all fault. The way you got them chips is because of the nigga that you passing the ball to. Fuck, I keep on saying the greatest thing that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter I've ever seen. He's also the reason why basketball ain't shit.
And I hate that.
You can't blame him though.
I hate that argument too, Nick. Not because you made it, but because of the origins of where it comes from. It's such a reductive argument. I'm gonna tie this into the generation gap because if you're an old head or if you're a early 2000s NBA baby or a mid 90s kid who really loved watching Jordan, you will watch Curry, and I think you need to know what you're actually looking at before you just say, man, all he's doing is shooting the ball. I think that is such a reductive look at his game. This is not to get into the weeds of his game, but dude, he does so much relocation. I think he's become a better defender every year. I think he's become a better team defender. He runs a marathon every single time. He's always ready to go. He can have one of the better handles in the game that game's ever seen. He drives to the cup. He cuts. He knows when to set back picks. He knows when to curl off. It's not just him. All right, I got it. I'm shooting. I got it. All right, I'm shooting. These kids are doing the Temu version of Steph Curry, where they think I'm going to just go behind the back 3 times and shoot. So if that's the game that Oscar Robertson thinks is happening, I think he might just be a little bit confused with that. And I understand Draymond as well. But, dude, the real issue here, aside from everything that we've talked about, because I'll concede Shelton's point, yeah, okay, kids are a little bit softer today. I'll concede Nick's point, okay, it can be LeBron's fault, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you the real issue here, besides environment, social media, everything, is that, bro, it's hard to watch the fucking games. It's hard to literally watch the games. There is 1,000 apps to watch one game. You have to watch NBA TV. You have to go and get this app. You got to go and download HBO to see this game. You got to download Netflix now to see this game. They don't have the readiness and availability to watch Wemby when I want to see Wemby. I have to go and get, NBA TV. I have to pay for that package. I have to go get what's the name of League Pass to get that. The availability is not there in the game. The corporate side of the game is completely behind a paywall. And I don't appreciate that from a fan standpoint. And I think that would breed more name familiarity. There are people who don't even know who Alfred Şengün is. And he's one of the best players in the NBA. And of course, you could say that's true in every era, but the availability of the technology that we have, that should not be happening. People shouldn't know that De'Aaron Fox is not in Sacramento anymore. People should know he's on the Spurs. People should know what the Phoenix Suns actually look like instead of just having to wait once every 3 weeks for them on ESPN. This is an issue of availability and accessibility for me, and the average fan can't watch it.
And to that point,
Shelton. Real quick, Nick, and then Shelton, let us know what your thoughts on this, and then we'll move to the next thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I do find it interesting that the Oscar Robertson is defending the NBA because a lot of people say that there's nobody really defending the NBA. Everybody's shitting on it. So I find it interesting that he's at least trying to do that. But to Q's point, I will say this, like living in the tri-state area that I'm in between New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey, I can't watch Knicks games unless they on ESPN or TNT without paying for it. Literally without paying for it because they got the MSG, they have the MSG app where even if I have NBA TV, and I pay for League Pass or whatever the hell, they black out those games. You have to go through MSG app to watch any New York Ranger, New York Knicks. I think there's something else, a couple other things, but yeah, it sucks.
It's just in Atlanta with the Bally Sports app.
The readiness and accessibility is a huge issue here for fans to be able to be like, I know who niggas can't name 3 players on the Orlando Magic, bro.
But hold on.
Hold on. We gotta hear from
Shelton. Yeah, I was just gonna say that it is being let down, and you all are right. It's just tough now for attention spans anyway, in general, though. So our attention spans are short. I know mine is, and most of the generation that's coming up now, their attention spans are this short anyway. So they're not paying attention to want to watch a full game anyway. My son doesn't watch. He's 18. He's not watching a full no game. He's not. So these kids are looking for highlights, which they're checking those. And most of those highlights, like we talk about Curry, he does more, but we're seeing him shoot threes. That's what you're seeing in the highlights. So that's what you think is happening the whole time if you're watching sports today, because you're not watching these. Like I said, these people are not watching full games. They're not. So it's kind of like that's kind of ruining the aspect of the game too, because you're seeing Sports Center, you're seeing the highlights, these plays that are happening. But that's what you're gonna want to emulate.
But wouldn't you think it's be easier? Like to Q's point is like the fact that I can't there should be an easy channel or whatever. Because like when I'm living in Cincinnati and the Bengals game is on, granted, it's most football games are on like CBS, Fox, NBC, so they're accessible channels. Anybody with a TV and outlet can watch it. But for specifically in Cincinnati, like anytime the Bengals are playing, they have the channel for their local station. Either it was Channel 12 in Cincinnati or whatever, the CBS affiliate network would play it. I'm close as hell to New York. I should be able to watch like the ABC station, NBC station, whatever. When the Knicks games come on, there should be something else that's free and accessible for people who live here. Because like you're our fans, we cater to you.
Yeah, I agree with that. But is that the problem though? And the only reason I said it is because when you talk about the '90s sports, we didn't see all the teams in the '90s. You only saw a couple of teams. You only saw a couple games a week. You had Tuesday night and Friday night, and you only saw 4 teams.
But we constantly talk about the fact that the NBA ratings are down. That's what I'm saying. We're in a different age where we have to cater to the fan to get more viewership. So why would you not do that?
They do that with social media. And I want to say about Oscar Robertson, Draymond. And it kind of goes back to what Q was saying to a certain degree about revisionist history and nostalgia and how we view things today versus how things were back then. Will Chamberlain in the 90s was very critical about the NBA in the 90s to the point that they called him bitter. I mean, I even found, you could just find the article. Every generation will complain about the generation that's behind them.
Exactly.
It just happens. So, and because I think he said, this is what Will Chamberlain said, and y'all know how that basketball was. I think basketball was at its peak as far as the game being played correctly, technically, and for love, as I said, and I'm very happy to have been a part of that. I'm not bitter. I'm a sports fan. I watch everything you could possibly watch, blah, 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 blah. He said the game he was playing was at its peak and played correctly and technically. Will Chamberlain.
Can I say
about 90s basketball?
Can I say one rebuttal to that, Ken? Was Kevin Hart alive and kicking in that time?
Doesn't matter.
Was he in the All-Star games? Like
doesn't matter.
Like did he in the music video?
Doesn't matter.
To Ken's point, that is exactly my point here.
What up, Rob? So
Rob,
yeah.
What's going on, guys?
It just is what it is. All right, 2 more topics to hit. 30 games left in the regular season. The question is, name one team people would be surprised to see make the playoffs in the East and West, and one team people would be surprised to see miss the playoffs in the East and West.
Do we even know who's in the playoffs right now? That's what I'm saying.
That's why they tune in. Q.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey, besides FIFA, I don't think anybody in this chat has watched more than 3 full NBA games.
That's because football been dominant, man. Football has really been dominant.
But dude, y'all were alive in 1992. Right. Had your full faculty taking girls out on dates and shit. I know that. So if that was the fact, y'all were watching Dion play for Atlanta, and y'all would turn the TV and watch John Starks play against Jordan. You feel me?
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm not saying that to be on some nostalgia shit. I'm just saying that
it's true.
It was a different environment. It was more readily available for the sports fan to see what was going on, and it was more hype. I feel like it's no excuse now for the accessibility and tech that we have for people to not know. As much as people be crying and moaning about, smaller market teams, people don't seem to actually care. That's because people like dynasties, regardless of what people say. People actually like smaller, rings of elite teams that rule the, you like the reaction of
dynasties are good for sports.
Teams. It's always good for sports. You know what I mean?
And it doesn't matter which sport either.
For a reason. And it makes teams build better teams to beat the Yankees, to beat the Dodgers, to beat the Celtics, to beat the Warriors. That's what we need. But my issue is people seem to, like I said, just crying and moaning about how come we can't watch Denver? But when Denver's on TV, they have some of the lowest numbers. And that's an issue of the NBA's branding.
Well, I was gonna say we gotta answer the question. I was gonna say a team in the East that people be I don't know at this point you may be surprised that they're not gonna make it, at least for me. the Philadelphia 76ers.
That's who I had.
A team in the West that I feel like is not gonna make it, that people are gonna say I'm hating, Golden State Warriors. A team that I think that is gonna be surprise people in the East is the Chicago Bulls making it at least to the play-in.
Yeah,
and I think a surprise for the West will be the San Antonio Spurs.
For my and I agree with you on the one on the East. Sixers not making it is a complete surprise for me. The team in the East that I'm surprised is going to make it, even though I know they're going to make it now, is Detroit Pistons. I can't believe
I was just about to say that shit. I was like, how many games do you think Detroit is over Philly right now? You'll be shocked by how many games.
That is ridiculous. Over. They are they're 9 games, 8.5, 9?
6 games. Yeah, 9 games. We have to go 22-6 to get to 500.
That's crazy, and it's just crazy because it's coming from where the Pistons are coming from. So I'm real happy for that team.
I was just early, Shelton. I was just early. Them boys didn't have talent.
Hey, but you know what, FIFO, they did have talent, but I was surprised that they were able to put it together the way they did. When you added in some of those pieces, I mean, we knew Cade was going to be.
What year? Special. What year is it for all them guys? What year is it for Cade?
Oh my God,
this Cade's fourth year?
Isn't this third year?
Third or fourth?
He's in his third year. So what do I always say? 3 to 5.
Are we talking about play-in games or playoffs? Like,
I'm thinking Detroit is number 6.
Yeah. So no, we're just saying teams that we're surprised is gonna make it and surprised it's not gonna make it. Right? That's what I took it as.
Yeah.
So in the West, and I was gonna say my West Coast teams surprised that they won't make it. I think the Phoenix Suns are gonna be on the outside looking in, and that's saying a lot for that team with Kevin Garnett there. And the team that I think is going to surprise everybody and may go on a run here is the San Antonio Spurs. They are 4 games out right now, and I think that Chris Paul can get it done. That cements him as one of the
ain't got shit to do with Chris Paul. Got shit to do with Chris Paul.
But Nick, hey man, the fact that he's on these teams, it says a lot for his leadership.
Do you know what? One of the expectations that I think we had, just a team that should be in the playoffs but is not, and I think it ties back into everything that we're talking about, is the Pelicans, man. That obviously would surprise people in the West, but to me, that's who all this should be placed on. LeBron should have been out of being the guy, for the NBA years ago. The guy who fumbled this shit was Zion Williamson. Zion was supposed to be this. He's supposed to be, he's supposed to be poster, man. He's
generational talent.
Generational. It's supposed to be box office. And then he fumbled, and he has been fumbling with a bowl of Popeyes and beignets every day. And he's not doing nothing that he's supposed to. Every guy keeps getting hurt that goes there. They traded Brandon Ingram, DeJounte Murray out with the Achilles. It looks bad for them. And I would be shocked if they can somehow even make a play-in run. But that's who this was supposed to be on. This was the guy.
Rob, before you go to, I'm gonna pass to you, FIFO, real quick. I just got one question. What year is Zion in on that 3 to 5 scale?
The talent is there.
But Zion's never been the same since the Nike incident in Duke. Let's be honest. Why you sucking your teeth, bro?
Because you wasn't. Was he saying any of this kid early on about this Nike incident?
But hindsight is 2020. In the moment, I didn't think that was going to hinder him from being the guy that he was supposed to be, because we saw him in high school, we saw him at Duke, we saw him whenever he actually plays. He has Wilt Chamberlain numbers, bro.
He was a teenager.
Go look it up. When he plays, he's dominant. I never thought that this was going to be him. Who from a basketball perspective, nobody thought that he was not that he was going to sit more games that he actually played. Nobody thought that, including
I said
no,
that.
No, you didn't.
We can run the tape. Ken, was I not saying this?
Go ahead.
I was the only nigga saying like, bro, this nigga too fat and he ain't gonna do shit. And I was like, RJ Barrett will do more for the Knicks than he did, and he's done for the. And
RJ Barrett got traded. And
RJ Barrett, he won a playoff series. He won a playoff series.
He done did the same thing. Get out of here.
Zion ain't won the damn playoffs.
He eating jambalaya and cheesecake every night. Like, this shit is it's not good for him, dude.
look, the team in the West that I'm most surprised with is Memphis being second in the West, 36-18. I've been on Memphis bandwagon for a minute now. I've been saying Ja Morant's the best point guard in the league, so I believe in them. I just didn't know that they were going to be this good consistently this year. Because I feel they still don't have an isolation score that they desperately need. And then Phoenix is who I'm surprised is this far behind. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna say them. I'm not even gonna say them. Well, I will say them because how the hell did what's his name? Who's the GM over there? He used to play with LeBron.
James Jones.
Miami. James Jones. How the hell? I said it when they traded for Bradley Beal. This is not gonna work, bro. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. It just Bradley Beal and Devin Booker are the same guy. They're the same guy. Yeah. And Booker is a better version of Bradley Beal. And then you add KD. And then you didn't have a point guard year one. Yeah, you got a Trey Jones now, but he's not top flight. You know what I'm saying? At least in at something. Right, like he's a very solid point guard, but he's not uber athletic. He's not a knockdown shooter. He's not a flotation device if he gets to the lane. Like he's just solid. Like he's a rotational player. He's not, in my opinion, a starter. So yeah, Phoenix, it is what it is. In the East, yeah, man, Philly, man. Look, I think the worst purchase ever is Paul George. The worst purchase ever, bro. Like in basketball history, you look at what he did last season and what he was supposed to be for them this year. In addition to Joel Embiid having Joel Embiid problems, they should have at least been competitive, and it's only going to get worse, in my opinion. They nobody wants.
They blow it up.
But the thing is who is going to take on PG's contract, bro?
I thought Golden State was. Golden State was supposed to.
No, they wanted to sign him in the offseason.
Well,
they're not trading for him.
They were trying to trade from allegedly
they're trying to trade
in the deadline, but we said no, which is absolutely asinine. I think Daryl Morey is doing such a bad job right now. Like he's made some good signings for the Sixers, of course, but it's like just those things around the edges that need to be done, those hard decisions. He ain't got that Howie Roseman in him.
Or you're gonna say Shelton, and then we're passing.
I was gonna say Paul George.
I'm surprised about.
Well, I meant Spike. Spike raises in.
Hold on, I didn't get to say the team I was surprised about.
Go ahead.
The Hawks. The Hawks. I'm surprised that they
trade everybody away though, people.
I know, but even with all of their turmoil, Trae Young not getting the respect he needs in the league, I'm surprised that they are at number 8. Surprised.
For me, it's the Clippers. I thought they were dead. I'm surprised they're in the 6th seed. And as far as the disappointment in the West, I'm going to say I agree with the Pelican sentiment. The men 13-42 is crazy, but I'm going to go with the Suns as far as the disappointment, as what one of y'all said. And then in the East, my surprise would be the Magic. I know Paolo is good, but I didn't know that they were the 7th seed in the East. And then the disappointment is going to be the Sixers, voicing the same sentiment as some of y'all said. And I love that hat, Rob.
Man, you're lucky I fuck with you because that shipping was crazy, bro. To bring up to Canada, man, that was nuts.
But I've been told that I'm working on it.
Got some sexy hats for you, Rob. You know what I'm saying? Just for you.
Don't remind me of that shit. Anyways,
that's funny as hell.
Well, before I get into it, I want to cue. Congratulations to you and only you on your Philadelphia Eagles for winning the Super Bowl.
That's crazy, Shane.
Thank you, Rob.
Appreciate that, gang.
I'm a Q. I thought you talking about my Omega. I'm an Omega, so
no. Sean, after today's Discord chat, you can't have that background up ever again.
Q. I'm a Q.
Never again. You can't have that background. This man said he'd rather have George Kittle than Jalen Hurts. That was insane. Anyways.
Yo.
No, we were doing the $15 pick your team.
Send me that screenshot, Rob. But yeah,
I will. Something's gonna delete it right now. Watch it.
I'm gonna put that as my background.
Don't do that, Q.
No, Ken, just send Q the photo of Shelton wearing the Panthers jersey.
Oh, I need that one too.
Yeah.
I need that one too.
I was big time Cam Newton, boy.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't know shit about what's going on in the NBA this season. So
Well, Rob, then stay right there. Then we got this last topic that we have, which is about Aaron Rodgers. So it's a topic we didn't get a chance to address during Super Bowl week, and it's about the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers are officially changing their Facebook status from "it's complicated" to "it's single." Now breaking up disappointing seasons together. Should Rodgers retire, and if not, which team would he help the most next season? Also, and do you guys think he tarnished his legacy over the last 3 seasons of his career? I want to start with you, Rob.
Tarnish his legacy. That's hard to say considering the longevity of Rodgers' career, and for the vast majority of that time, he was, what could we say, at worst a top 5 quarterback in the NFL for the vast majority of his career. But it is what have you done for me lately league, and what Rodgers has done, what Rodgers has been off the field has almost tarnished what he's done more so than on the field to a degree. Like his whole entire reputation is shot. And then once he loses his playing abilities, like nobody has any reason to sort of prop him up anymore. So it's hard to say. I think he's still one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. But it's just
should he play next year? Should he call it quits?
Because I don't like him, I'm saying yes, because I would love to see him play like shit again. It would be hilarious.
Yes.
But
I agree with that.
In terms of
I agree with that.
Saving his legacy, just no.
Why do you hate Aaron Rodgers?
He just runs.
Why do you not?
Too much off.
Who don't play?
I don't hate.
I don't have an issue with him.
Yeah, I ain't got no
Aaron Rodgers is like.
I don't understand why y'all don't hate him. I
get why people don't like him because he gives off straight fake woke. Like it's just very much so. Like he's one of those guys that
he's Joe Rogan.
I mean, yeah, like he's very fake woke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was saying that's one of Lou's favorite guys.
But see, Joe Rogan is supposed to be likable to everybody. That's his brand. Like, you know, not really shitting on anything or having real opinions, just agreeing, like, yeah, man, that's interesting.
You're right.
Aaron Rodgers, the reason why I fuck with Aaron Rodgers because outside of him being a great quarterback, throughout his career. There's 2 things that I really like to do. He always make the white man mad. he always make the white man mad.
I know what you're gonna say.
Always his homies always get paid and they brothers. You know what I'm saying?
I knew it.
Lou, you ain't putting money in Randall Cobb
What's
pocket.
the difference? What's the difference?
You ain't putting money in Alan Lazard pocket. Aaron Rodgers.
What's the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Russell Westbrook? Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson won games last year.
Exactly. It's the same goddamn thing.
I was gonna say Sierra Future.
Aaron Rodgers way better than Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson won games last year.
He's not.
Yes, he is.
Way better than, no, he's
yes,
not.
he is.
Yeah,
yes, he is.
Bro,
It's not even close.
I will take if right now I'll take Russell Wilson over Aaron Rodgers, like hands down. Like that's
right
not
now.
I'm talking about
just today or career.
Just today.
Whose career is better?
They've been to the same.
Whose career would I rather have, or whose career is better?
Both. Russell. I want to both. Yeah.
Whose career would I rather have? Russell Wilson.
You got Sierra.
What y'all talking about?
4 MVPs
in the multiple Super Bowls.
Man, fuck them MVPs. We see what they get Lamar Jackson.
I'd rather go to multiple Super Bowls and lose
the most recent Super Bowl you remember Russell Wilson doing is fucking up.
I understand, but I'd rather fuck up in the Super Bowl than only go against
Russell Wilson balled in the Super Bowl that they lost when he threw that interception. Like he it was just
and that shit came down to Pete Carroll. So don't do any of that.
I didn't say. But to me, there's 2 things.
They have identical careers.
There's 2 things, and we got to get back on. I'm going to get back on the Aaron Rodgers thing. The thing is, I'm not going to give you credit for winning a Super Bowl and not diss you for losing a Super Bowl. If you're supposed to be a quarterback, remember Shelton when I said this about Jalen Hurts. Remember I said this about Jalen Hurts during that was that the Rams game or one of the when he did the bootleg he shot the bootleg pass and got sacked, and I was like, why didn't he call that out? You was like, he don't call the plays, and then when he does something good, you was like, actually he called the plays. That's the same thing with Russell Wilson. If you, bro, Q, if you as an intelligent man, if Pete Carroll's saying throw the ball at the 2-yard line when you got the nigga who just ran 10 yards to get you to the goal line.
Yeah,
right next to you. I'm like, bro, fuck all that shit.
That's crazy.
Well, of course.
So now that's Russell Wilson.
I agree.
That's what
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because he threw the interception, Lou. What are you talking about?
I agree with that, but I do put that on Pete Carroll though. But at the end of the day, should Aaron Rodgers call it a career? I mean, we know that just because of age, I think that he's closer to the end than a guy like Russ is. So I think he has to contemplate that heavily. I don't really know many teams. The only team that I could see doing this, if they're not in love with Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, is probably Tennessee. Take a flyer on them for a year. You know what I mean? Just because you want him over Levis, right? Like Will Levis is terrible, right?
They talk about the Raiders too, but
look, the Raiders, I would take Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, if I was the Raiders,
I think you gotta go Russ if you're the Raiders, just because you got Pete Carroll there.
Nah. I wouldn't want that reunion. There's a reason why he let him go. He wanted him gone before he actually got rid of him.
I think a lot of those LOB dudes kind of pushed that more than what it is.
Yeah, but Pete Carroll was the head coach, bro. He put all of that together.
Anyway. I agree.
But at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers in his prime, there's only a handful of quarterbacks that you say that are better than him.
Of course,
and Russell Wilson was not one of them guys.
I agree with that, but we're just talking about careers.
Man, y'all gassing, y'all glazing.
Aaron Rodgers' career is better than Russell Wilson.
You're literally
if you're asking me,
one Super Bowl,
but if you're asking me whose career would I rather have, like I just value certain things. Like I'm gonna want Klay Thompson's career over Tracy McGrady's career, like personally, just because I'm gonna be a key guy.
So you want Russell Wilson's career over Aaron Rodgers' career?
If I was a football player, if I played football, I would. I would rather play with. I would want to play with a legendary defense. I would want to play with beast mode. I would want to go to 2 Super Bowls. I would almost want to go to a third. Like I'm always in the NFC Championship game. Aaron Rodgers has choked the game away multiple times. I don't want that shit personally.
And let's get back to the question. The question though is
Aaron Rodgers not a choke artist? Come on, bro. Like let's not do that.
How many Hail Marys he got, bro? Like he's.
I mean, I feel that, but let's not do it. We've been on this program, people, and we've shitted on him
and it was nasty. And them niggas have not made the playoffs since. That's the reason why you don't like him. And let's be honest, bro. When we're talking from a talent perspective, bro, Dan Marino, John Elway, Brett Favre. It's maybe 10 quarterbacks I can name before Aaron Rodgers.
Bro. Yeah, y'all are being insane right now.
But he's super talented. I'm not saying that.
What were you going to say, Shelton?
I was just going to get back on the subject. Should he call it a career? In my opinion, he should. I don't think he's fully vested in football right now. I just don't see him being that, and I don't see him being a person that I would want. Based off what I've seen of him the last couple of years, he's not a person I would want to come.
I got a perfect
try to lead my team in that scenario. I just don't see it. They talking about Pittsburgh a little bit, but
yes, that's the place you need to go.
Yeah, but him with George Pickens together, that I don't know how that's gonna work. But I mean, I just that's pretty much maybe the only place. But I don't think I would like that. I just wish you just retired.
Pickens will love him because he don't fuck with Russ.
But
you don't fuck with Justin Herbert.
You cannot bring in Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson back to Pittsburgh. You gotta go young, and you gotta figure something out.
Young how? Where they going?
I don't know, man. Look. Howie Roseman said, Sheldon gonna love this. So Howie Roseman said, "Hey, we got Carson Wentz, but we need some insurance because I'm not really sure." And went out and took a chance on a guy that he felt had great intangibles, was a great leader. And we can work with him as to become a much better passer. And think
we're not trying to hear the origin stories of
this damn Eagles. It's the same shit. If you see a quarterback in the second or third round, and you think that he's a great leader, he has intangibles, bro. Take him, bro.
I had y'all moment last week.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a moment. I'm talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the type of guy they need.
Hey, Lou, he trying to give us the Eagles epilogue, like giving us the
I'm talking about Khan and Mike Tomlin. Khan and Mike Tomlin in their front office, they need to go follow the Howie Roseman blueprint and try to find a guy in the second, third round that they think has certain intangibles, bro. That's what they need. Like, I don't think you should go unless you're really in love and want to trade the farm for Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, which I wouldn't do that personally. Aaron Rodgers is not the answer here for
and Rob, you said you wanted What did you say? What's your answer to the question?
For me, it's for his legacy. Yes, he should retire. For my personal entertainment, no, he shouldn't.
I'm with Rob.
I'm with you on that.
I want him in Pittsburgh.
Let
Mike Tomlin. Mike
You
Tomlin.
just saying that because you don't like Tomlin, though. You saying that you want him to
I'm
like
only
be a
saying that.
piece of shit in Pittsburgh.
I'm only saying this because it is. Mike Tomlin has won a Super Bowl with a Hall of Fame QB before. I haven't seen him win it with since. So
Aaron Rodgers used to go play for the Montreal Alouettes.
That's crazy.
Aaron Rodgers is not a Hall of Fame QB.
That's
level right now.
Doc, huh?
Neither was Russell Wilson.
I know, and we saw how that ended. So you're gonna bring in these old guys? What up, Doc?
Send Aaron Rodgers to the Saints.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm about to say it. Go ahead.
Nick, you're not making sense. How you gonna say what you said about Mike Tomlin, but then give Aaron Rodgers more credit than Russell Wilson?
No, well, because Aaron Rodgers won the MVP.
Get him, Doc.
Recently in the last 5 years.
Man, why you keep
can I answer
recently in the last 5 years?
Did he ask you, Lou? Yeah, ask you shit. Because I've seen Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is a good coach. He can coach a team. He can coach the team to the playoffs. Q talk about all the time in our chat. Jay, you know what I'm talking about. This nigga got bums at QBs. He had MAGA Rudolph. He had Kenny Pickett. All that shit. With Aaron Rodgers, he should be able to get him to the playoffs. And I think Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, boy, you a hater, boy. Nick, you are a hater.
No, Nick just want Mike Tomlin out of the division so the team they can prosper. That's all he wants.
Just so he will suck. That's crazy.
Listen, because of the argument y'all was making a moment ago. Like Aaron Rodgers is 12-10 in the playoffs. Russell Wilson is 9-8. Aaron Rodgers went on a 4-0 run when he went to that Super Bowl. That was so long ago. Since then, this nigga's been choking ever since. Like Q, like they said, that nigga is a choke. Or he had one lucky run. Now I'm not so lucky. He had one run. One run. Y'all hold every other nigga accountable when they have one time. And
that was a Carter 4 run.
Can I ask you? He's been the number 1 team. He's been number 2 seed. He's been having home field advantage. Been having buys and still been fucking choking.
Come on now.
He went to New York and showed
he's killing you.
He can't fucking do it.
Can I say this one thing?
Neither can Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
just easy to.
Jalen, I want to ask you one question. Has he ever had a coach as good as Mike Tomlin ever in his career?
Oh man!
Oh God! Here we go.
That's so
I'm just asking you a question. Can I ask you a question? Is that a wrong question?
So now the coach is good now. So now the coach is good now. Hey, no. Hey, no, bro.
Is that not a good question?
Don't talk to me about that little take care run he had. That little Carter 4 run he had. We ain't doing that shit.
I'm just saying. What I've been told is that Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame coach who's been making gold. He's been making lemonade out of shit turds. So if you give him, and which I'll claim is the greatest shit turd of all time at this point in time in his career, he should get a lemonade stand.
He can't play anymore, Nick.
You also, Nick, you like Mike McCarthy.
Credit goes to Patrick Mahomes. He wasn't a great coach.
Yo, Nick be holding
like
these.
Too.
Nick be holding these 40-year-olds up on a crazy standard, bro. Like, yo, we gotta talk about LeBron. We gotta talk about Aaron Rodgers. No, we don't, bro. Like, this is crazy.
Well, no, the LeBron thing was more about what he did in his prime. He ruined that during his prime. He was young and leading the league and everything. And Doc just came in just to hate. You know what I'm saying? And just talk about nothing. He talked about a bunch of nothing. Because ain't nobody and their mama ever gonna say that Russell Wilson's career was better than Aaron Rodgers. With everything,
it's subjective. It's subjective.
No one would do that. It's not subjective. It's objective.
It is subjective. It's completely subjective.
What'd you say, Rob?
Russ got Sierra. Aaron Rodgers lost his family.
Come on! Oh, wow! No, that's
off the field.
That's a white man's response.
But you know, after that, nothing to do with the game. But you know, I'm gonna allow that type of hate on this.
That's a white man's honesty right there, boy.
The whole family stopped talking to him. He a piece of shit, bro.
Do you care? What quarterback family you care about?
Rob, what y'all be saying up there? Like, what? He's a waste man or some shit. Yeah,
Really smart.
He's a waste, bro. We don't even rate you, bro. We don't even rate you, bro.
What white quarterbacks you care about? Their family and their family dynamic in history.
Except for Aaron Rodgers. Him.
Tom Brady tried to care about his family dynamic, but she was tripping this shit, asking him to take care of the kids. Like, this shit was crazy. Like, he trying to win rings.
That's what I said.
She just had a baby.
He trying to win rings, and you talking about daycare? Like, what the fuck?
They say Brady care about all the rings, but he gave up on his.
No, he gave up on it. He was trying to make it work. He's like, let me go win my championship. You take care of these fucking kids. I'll be home when I get home. Like,
when he chose to be with Gronk more than Giselle, that's how we should have known.
Man,
he was just
that's a choice. That's what Kanye say. That's a choice. That's not like a choice.
That sounds like a choice.
You choosing a ugly ass football player over a supermodel is disgusting.
Man, he trying to get 8 rings because you niggas get on this fucking chat talking about something. Yo, the nigga with 3 rings is the greatest I've ever seen. Shut up, bro. He got 7 fucking rings, bro.
I want to ask a question as we get ready to close out. And I see it's from Dragon Knight 49. And he said, Russ not even making the Hall. A-Rod is first ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Hidden racism.
So do you guys agree?
That's racism.
I think Russ is gonna get to the Hall.
Russ gonna get
in. Is he first ballot?
No, he's
not first ballot.
Third ballot, second, third.
Why would Russ get into the Hall of Fame?
Because I don't think you can tell the story of the NFL. Because see, I'm gonna do the same shit that all these white commentators do for Eli Manning. You can't tell the story of the NFL without Eli Manning. You can't tell the story of the NFL without Russell Wilson, LOB, and they were the last great defense in the NFL. The last time you could even semi-hit was the LOB. So they're gonna be etched in stone forever. Those Seahawks uniforms were dope as fuck. Marshawn Lynch, it was an era, and you're not gonna be able to tell a story without telling the entirety of that.
Eli's not a Hall of Famer too, though.
Eli is a Hall of Famer, and
I think we all agree that if we're judging Hall of Fame by strict ability individually, yeah, Russell Wilson, Eli Manning, those are not Hall of Fame guys. But I think that the fact that the Hall of Fame doesn't have a strict criteria, and they do get into politics, they do get into narrative, storyline, branding. Sometimes, depending on who the player is, you got to put them in.
Like, that goes against your point, though. Your whole point.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm acknowledging the reality while enforcing what I think is true.
You were saying that what the white commenters say is that you can't tell the story of football with you can't tell it without Eli, but they didn't put him in.
But they're going to
first ballot. He's
just not first ballot. Like Russell Wilson, he not first ballot. He might get in second, third try. Hines Ward hasn't even gotten in yet. So it's like,
can we be
Russell
honest?
Wilson may not. Russell Wilson's not a. Russell Wilson's not a.
Can we be honest?
Russell Wilson.
If he was Eli Smith, he wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
What'd you say, Rob?
Say that again, Rob.
If he was Eli Smith, he wouldn't even sniff the Hall of Fame.
Who, Eli Manning?
He got the Manning last name.
Yeah,
don't do that. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful. You know why? Because look, I'll be on the fence on this, and I typically my stance is he should be in the Hall of Fame only because of who he beat. But let's be honest, he wasn't necessarily great. What did he ever lead?
Give me another quarterback that got 2 Super Bowls that ain't in the Hall of Fame.
He beat an undefeated Tom Brady.
There is no other quarterback that has
individually,
but he was not great.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
That's second.
Turnover machine.
Did y'all not watch that second Super Bowl?
He did not have sustained greatness.
He had games.
Eli was up there like
he did not have sustained greatness.
I'm not. If you're talking about for like through his whole career, sustained greatness, regular season and playoffs, I get that. But when we talking about the playoffs, bruh. The nigga made his legend in the play. No, he beat a prime Matt Ryan on the road. He beat the best, one of the best versions of Brett Favre on the road. He beat Aaron Rodgers on the road. He beat all the best quarterbacks.
But those defenses were great.
The best quarterbacks you fear. You never feared Eli.
Ask Brady.
Nick, don't do that.
As big of a choke artist as A-Rod has been throughout his entire career, you feared going into Lambeau and having to go outduel that.
Not to Q.
You feared that.
But Q said no, he don't.
I'm not talking to Q. I'm talking to you.
I don't think I ever said that. But
it's 13. It's 13 quarterbacks. It's only 13 quarterbacks that have 2 Super Bowls. All of them are in the Hall of Fame. Why would Eli be excluded?
That is not true. There's a Raiders quarterback that's 2 Super Bowls. He ain't in the Hall of Fame. I forget his name.
Jim Plunkett.
Okay.
Yes.
So are you saying that Eli Manning is just as good? It's just as good as Jim Plunkett.
Eli Manning
better than Jim Plunkett.
Eli Manning was less talented than Russell Wilson was from the quarterback position, less mobile. I think we can acknowledge that. It's just the fact that he was able to have crazy moments, the Tyree catch, the Manningham sideline catch, and the fact that in those 2 Super Bowls, the Giants put together, especially in 2007, amazing front sevens and pretty solid secondaries. You had O.C. Umenyiora, you had Michael Strahan, you had all those. Bro. No, it's not in the moment. No, it's not.
I'm saying this
in the moment. Analysts were saying if you can put Brady on the ground, then you can beat him. The same shit that we talk about with Patrick Mahomes right now. If you can put Mahomes on the ground, you can beat the Chiefs. The same shit with the Patriots.
So let me ask you a question: was any of those Giants teams a division winner when they won the Super Bowl?
Why does that?
Was any hold on? Was any of those Giants teams playing well for a majority of that seat?
And why was that, Nick? Was that because of the defense? Was that because of the defense, or was that because of the quarterback?
I'm saying this.
No, was that because of the quarterback or the defense? The reason why you just brought that up, that they weren't.
I'm bringing all this up because what you're talking about, you're making it seem like going into that season or those seasons, people were looking at the Giants like, oh shit, they got something cooking. Like you'll be scared to face them in the playoffs. They snuck up on everybody, those 2 playoff runs they had because of what y'all point is about Eli, which goes back to my original point. The reason why I'm hesitant to even say Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer, because y'all saying that he's done the same thing as Eli as far as success and downfall. So that's why he either should or shouldn't be. And I'm like, the people have spoken. They say Eli Manning is not a first ballot, or people even argue he shouldn't even be in the Hall of Fame, period.
I mean,
so I'm saying if we're gonna do the same thing, if he can't get in, Russell damn sure can't get in. That's what
he's gonna get in. He's gonna get in. And they'll both get in my opinion. But I think Eli's for sure, just because he's a Manning, he has 2 Super Bowls, and it's the moments, bro. Like he has great NFL moments. If you're asking me, you know what? As an Eagles fan, I saw the Giants twice a year. I was never scared of the Giants. I was always more scared of their defense. O.C. Umenyiora, Michael Strahan, those were the guys. What's his name? Blew his fingers off. Him, JPP, yeah, man. Jason Pierre-Paul, Prince Amukamara, all them guys. Justin Tuck. Come on, dude. Like they were like
Prince Amukamara was trash. Don't try to bring up his name.
Like this is interesting. As we wrap up. Somebody asked me to pull up Russell Wilson's career stats. So while y'all was sitting there talking, this is how it reads out. So I'm gonna read 3. I'm gonna read Russell's, Eli's, and Aaron Rodgers. So and this is on stat news, by the way.
Don't tell us who is who, Ken. Let us try to decipher based off of the numbers.
All right. Played 13 seasons. Has thrown for 46,134 yards and 350 touchdowns, 9 Pro Bowls, and a Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award and a ring. Who am I?
That's Russell Wilson.
That's Russell Wilson.
All right. This will be easy to guess.
No Man of the Year.
Definitely not Dak.
So Eli, since y'all guessed that one, the other 2 are pretty easy because this is the only person that has
night and day.
2. So Eli played 16 seasons, threw for 57,023 yards and 366 touchdowns, selected to 4 Pro Bowls, won the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award, 2 Super Bowl MVP awards, and 2 championships.
He got the nice guy award. Get out of here.
And last,
people sleep on that Super Bowl MVP shit too.
He got 2 of them. He got 2 of them. He got 2.
Defense merchant.
And the last guy, Aaron Rodgers, has played for 20 seasons. He has thrown for 62,952 yards and 503 touchdowns. Selected to play in 10 Pro Bowls, 4 MVP awards, 1 Super Bowl MVP, and 1 championship.
1 Super Bowl MVP.
That's all he heard.
Far more superior than Russell Wilson. It's not even close.
It's not close.
It's not even close. Russell Wilson is closer to Eli Manning than he is Aaron Rodgers.
That is true.
Let me ask you this. Hold on, because Q made a really good point.
How y'all come into that?
When you played against that Seattle team, You were scared of the LOB first, and you were scared of Marshawn Lynch second.
Yep.
You were never scared of Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Is that true? Is that not a fact, Spike?
That's true, but I don't understand what that has to do.
Say, bro.
What does it have to do
I
with
agree.
this?
I don't think.
Like, what do they got to do with the Hall of Fame? Like, y'all,
because he didn't do shit when they left, when the team fell apart.
He wasn't the guy,
bro. Y'all are putting Aaron Rodgers on this pedestal, like, oh, he was just greatest. He got 4 MVPs, and then y'all shit on Lamar Jackson because he went.
When Aaron Rodgers was good, Aaron Rodgers was that guy.
No, Aaron Rodgers was that guy. It was different.
Okay,
it was different until he got the playoff.
When Lamar Jackson was good, he was that guy too. How many Super Bowls he got?
Bro, we talking about Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson.
I'm talking about y'all.
Aaron Rodgers to Russell Wilson.
Lamar is still in his prime. Lamar is still writing his book. For A-Rod, it's pretty much done, bro.
They said the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. He's still in his prime. He's still
Aaron Rodgers doing side.
Here we go. 20 years in, he ain't got no more Super Bowls. He ain't did shit for nobody.
All Lamar got to do is win one. And he's guaranteed in there because he's a multiple MVP. The same way with like Aaron Rodgers.
At least Shelton being honest.
Yeah.
At least he being honest.
I don't see how y'all are. I don't see how y'all are weighing. I don't see how y'all are weighing Aaron Rodgers more so than Russell Wilson. It's the same career.
No, it's
the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Lou, we're not good because of Russell Wilson.
Even if you washed them out with the championships, if you washed the championships out and took everying else, it's night and day. That's where the difference is.
No, it's not.
Take the championships, wash them out. Wash those two out. Everything else.
And
Aaron Rodgers. It was Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay Packers. So ain't nobody coming to you.
And Shelton, this is why. This is another reason why I try to stick up for Aaron Rodgers, regardless of the things he does, because people like Lou will rewrite history and act like he was just as average as Russell Wilson. When nigga, it's like he talking about. He said I can't fathom. He said I can't fathom that he was a great quarterback when he won 4 MVPs. That's literally the league telling you he is a great quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers was a sensational QB from. Yeah, like he was a sensational QB as an individual talent. You can't name probably 6 guys better than him from a technical standpoint, footwork, mobility. From 2011 to like 2016, it was
to add to that too. Q.
What did that equate to?
Let me tell you, Lou.
That's right.
What did you get from that?
Lou,
what did you get from that?
In all honesty, before Patty, the question was Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady the greatest?
Yeah.
It was, Patrick
how many
Mahomes
Super
came and
Bowls
took
Pat
that
Mahomes
over.
got? How many Super Bowls Pat Mahomes got?
Well, Pat Mahomes,
he's first ballot.
Patrick Mahomes came and took that over.
So
but I'm saying
y'all are telling me that you were comparing Aaron Rodgers to Patrick Mahomes as far as the skill set.
Spike,
and he got 3 fucking Super Bowls. Spike. And this Aaron Rodgers has been to 2 Super Bowls. What are y'all talking about?
No, Spike. What we're saying is how many Super Bowls would Patrick Mahomes have if Mike McCarthy was his coach?
3.
No, you wouldn't have no.
Look, man, Aaron Rodgers.
You wouldn't have 3.
I don't want my point to get misconstrued. I think 3 separate conversations can happen in a vacuum. Where is Aaron Rodgers an individual player better than Russell Wilson? Yes, by far. Individually, he's definitively a better quarterback, right? But if you're asking me about whose career would I want personally, that's a subjective argument. If you want the MVP, you want the 1 Super Bowl, and you want to be one of the greatest QBs ever, for sure, take that career. But the Seahawks it was a terror on the league for like 4 or 5 years. Where could they go back? Could they go this year? And when they finally beat the shit out of Manning, it was like, oh, wow. They were ahead of schedule, beat RG3, lost to Atlanta. The very next year, they win the Super Bowl. The next year after that, I think they went against the Patriots again. But they were always in it until Cam went and lost to Manning. So it's like that little window, that was a reign of terror to me, as opposed to like the 5-6 years where Aaron Rodgers at his full powers was like Super Saiyan, bro. Like, I understand.
Look, the way to sum this up is like this. They asked Russell Wilson not to lose the game. They told Aaron Rodgers, you got to win this game for us. That's
all the time.
And how many?
Yeah.
How many games did he win?
A lot. He won a lot.
He won more than Russell.
I mean, I'm looking at the Super Bowl count, and it's the same.
Nah,
Y'all
you bringing up the Super Bowl.
A lot of
You might as well take fucking
games.
Joe Flacco, bro. If you care about one Super Bowl,
Y'all are telling me he won a lot of irrelevant ass games doing white man's luck shit. And, oh yeah, we don't give him the praise because he's a white man. Fuck that.
You know what? Just mute Spike and Dub over to him on this segment and just have him screaming, "It was a catch! It was a catch! It was a catch!" Just every time.
All right, man. All right. Well, anyway, because Jesus Christ. Hey, Rob, you got anything for us, man, before we get out of here?
No, it's just always a pleasure to be on here whenever I get the chance. I always appreciate y'all having me on here.
Hey, Rob, real quick, man. Real quick that we got Rob. How you feel about that Team Canada brawl in hockey, man? Like, was that like tariff beef, or was that just like
the one between the two goalies?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it was. You know what I'm saying? It was getting it in real quick. Like,
yeah, from the drop of the puck.
That was
we ain't getting in with America anytime soon, Q.
I feel that.
Yeah, Q. We supposed. I mean, Rob, we supposed to be fighting you on this show about that.
The 51st state,
yeah, for real. Yeah, shit. If that happens, I'm moving to Italy. I'm going back to where my ancestors are from.
Nah, I feel that.
But yeah, because every Canadian sporting event now, we're booing the national anthem. Like,
yeah, I've seen that.
Like we're really. Yeah, we're not with America at all right now.
I stand with y'all on that because y'all got healthcare and shit. But beyond that,
hey, not if we get this new prime minister we're about to.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Shit. Join us on Dead End Politics next week. Never. We will talk about that. But
hey, Rob, what part of Canada you in, Rob?
Just outside Toronto.
So my daughter, for her birthday, wants to go to Canada. Where should we go?
Toronto.
Toronto.
When's her birthday?
OVO, bro.
He said go to Miami.
Toronto or Montreal.
Matter of fact, don't even come here. Yeah, don't even come
Go
here.
to Houston. That's what he said.
I don't want none of you Americans coming in here. What are you talking about?
Now, Toronto got some spots. I was there last summer. I should have hit you up.
Nah. Sheldon lying. Sheldon trying to get a BBL or something for the low. That's
no,
He's trying to get one of Drake's girls.
That shit crazy.
He go give the doctor a picture of Jalen Hurts.
Hey, Sheldon gonna come back with a full fro on some turkey shit. I promise you.
He gonna tell Doc make it happen.
Hey, I went to Vancouver. Vancouver racist as hell too, though. I went to Vancouver. Like it was a lot of.
It felt like Tennessee.
A lot of French people.
It was worse, bro. I went to Vancouver. We went in the nail shop. Went at the time it was me and my girl.
Why you in Vancouver?
Like, somebody was traveling there for work. My girl was traveling out that I was dating for work. We went in the nail shop, and it was like two Asian ladies. Nobody was in the nail shop, and she was like, "Oh, I want to get my nails." They was like, "Oh, we busy." Like, ain't no, we're not doing y'all nails.
They had Justin Tucker in the back. That's why. They had Big J Tuck in the back.
That's what they call him.
Is Asians being racist a common thing, Rob?
Hey, J Tucky, boy.
Hey, Justin Tucker, Robert Kraft, and Deshaun Watson walk into a bar.
That's crazy. Good Lord.
Is that common for Vancouver, though, Rob?
It was Vancouver. I'm not as familiar with Vancouver, but anywhere in Canada you can find some racist ass spots. But in terms of the Asian parlor, I think there was a story similar to that in Canada where an Asian restaurant was pre-charging their black customers.
Yeah, they was like, we not fucking with y'all.
That shit happened in Detroit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bro, Canadians be out there like, bro, our racism ain't
everywhere but Atlanta.
You know?
I'm not defending Canadian racism. Don't get that. Racism.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. Don't nobody. I keep telling you, kid. Don't nobody like black people nowhere. You go anywhere in the world.
Man, let's stop.
And they love us in Brazil, my boy.
Hey, that's a fact, FIFO. Rio, shout out to all the people out there, man.
Nigga, all of Brazil. My brother, like that's officially where he lives now, and he's lived a lot of places, bro.
Hey, shout out to
what you mean us?
Brazil got the second highest population of black people in the world.
In the world, it's a huge spot. And I was in Centro for like a couple months. super nice near Copacabana Beach, bro.
Facts.
The people, the women, it's
Everything.
live. And shout out to Medellin too, because Colombia they got
They love
hella
us there,
niggas
too.
too.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
Medellin is crazy.
You-
I'll always
you
say
know
this when you
another
went,
place,
I'll say
Zanzibar, Tanzania.
bro.
They
Facts,
fuck. They
bro.
fuck with us over
I
there
thought,
too.
I thought
bro.
that was a planet from Star Wars, but
Don't let America lie to you, bro. Like there's some
Yeah.
places where we are
They
really
love us,
accepted,
bro.
especially in the continent, bro. In the Caribbean,
FIFA, I
Just
always say
unfortunately not Canada.
if you're gonna recommend people go to Brazil, tell them to look at them apple trees before they do anything with anybody.
Apple trees.
check
Man,
check the apple trees.
No, that's facts.
Me and Ken go to Myrtle Beach.
All right, we about to close it out, but hey, Time Magazine has an article that says how Black Brazilians are fighting racial injustice today. So I don't know about that. And apparently, their government has been trying to whiteify its population in the past. So,
oh no, for sure. I mean, South America has historically gone through a lightning process where they import a bunch of Europeans to eradicate the African and indigenous population, for sure. But that's true everywhere. I think FIFA is referring to the fact that when you go amongst the people in the barrios and like actually talk to people, man, it's love. I was there. I could testify. I met Africans from Uruguay, Venezuela, Colombia, all on the beach playing basketball. I swear to God, I ain't know what the fuck they was talking about, but we was playing basketball, and that was the one unifying language. It was beautiful. That's all I'm gonna say. So go to South America, Rio, great place, bro.
All right, well, we'll leave it there, man. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.